P. Diddy is being openly railroaded. Regardless of how you feel about Sean John or Sean Puffy Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever name he wants to go by, the man is being railroaded. We don't normally do many videos here, but the railroading here is so apparent that I figured I'd drop a gem on you folks because I had a couple people ask me about it. Now, as you are aware, he was exonerated or found not guilty. He was found not guilty of the most pressing charges against him and essentially convicted of 2 charges, which includes essentially hiring a prostitute. The only difference is because the prostitute, the actual individual that was going to engage in sexual activities, came from across state lines, it suddenly became a federal crime. But fact is, all P. Diddy is guilty of is engaging in hiring a prostitute. And those are the 2 cases he lost. All the rest of the stuff, he hasn't been convicted of anything violent or any of that. However, the judge just yesterday denied him bail. Now, he's due to be sentenced in October. A lot of folks believe that he will be sentenced to time served. However, this whole hiring a prostitute across state lines, it could carry years in prison. I think, just giving my humble opinion on this, which is irrelevant, but I don't know how the hell if you hired somebody to come from a different state and engage in a sex act with you that both of you guys consented to, and that individual was paid, how the hell does that warrant spending years in prison? I don't understand how that even is existing to begin with. Now, I get the human trafficking laws and all of this stuff, but there is no one that P. Diddy has been held accountable for in terms of convicted for violating their sexual innocence. So he didn't rape any damn body. So there's no trafficking charges to throw at him. He hired prostitutes that were actually consenting for cash payment. It's against the law. It's actually selling commerce or your body or whatever the hell that the government cannot tax, which is why they don't like it. Because you can go to Pahrump in Nevada and hire somebody at a brothel and it's 100% legal. But for some reason, if you do it and the government doesn't make any money out of it, they suddenly want to throw your ass in jail. I don't come here to defend P. Diddy. I get that he's on video beating the hell out of Casey, beating a woman, and it looks violent as hell. However, the point remains he was not convicted of that. So it appears as though they have a man on video doing a horrible thing to a woman, and even though he's not being charged for what they see on video, they're finding other ways to try to hold him accountable. This is very similar to the late O.J. Simpson being found not guilty by work of Johnny Cochran out in Los Angeles for the killing of Ron Coleman and his ex-wife. And then later on, he has a case in Nevada, and they give him a ridiculous sentence based on we don't like him for what happened back in California. That's what this appears to be, is that P. Diddy is getting railroaded because he's on video beating the shit out of Cassie, but he wasn't charged with that. Statute of limitations, that stuff is old. So they're trying to make another case on him and punish him for something that he got away with. That's what it appears to be to me. Now, they denied him bail, suggesting that he is a flight risk. He's only facing a small amount of time considering that he's already done over a year in prison. Why would he flee? Why would he flee? He's not likely going to do no more than a year or so, max. He's not likely to flee. I don't know why they're calling him a flight risk when they can put a ankle monitor on him or something of that nature. Take his passport away. He is not a flight risk. I hate to be defending P. Diddy, but it definitely sounds like the man is getting railroaded. Generally, most people that are in his situation get either community service, a small fine, or extremely small period of incarceration. The man has done a year or so waiting for his trial to come up. His trial came up. He was fairly successful, and they decided to keep him in prison anyway on the smaller charges until sentencing, based on he's such a danger and such a flight risk. There's no evidence of that in terms of him being convicted, other than seeing that particular beating of Cassie years ago. So they're holding him accountable for something he was not convicted of. and trying to punish him as such. I believe the guy's getting railroaded. But what do you guys think? You think this man should still be sitting in prison based on the damn charges, not based on Cassie getting her ass whooped? It's not what he is in jail for. He is not convicted of anything to do with that. Let me phrase it this way. If you didn't see the beating of Cassie on video, would you still think he should be in prison? Would you still think he should be held? Well, he's actually in jail, but would you still think that he should be held in jail if you didn't see that one video of that beating? Because I do believe strongly that that beating is tainting the minds of many, wanting him to be punished when he is not being punished for the damn beating. So you're trying to make a case out of something and punish him for something that he was not charged or convicted with. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? You think the guy's being railroaded? I damn sure do. And I'm not defending him. What he did in regards to putting his hand on a woman and all of that shit was wrong. But the law is the law. He's not being charged with that. He hasn't been convicted for that. What he's been charged and convicted for should carry a very small period of incarceration, generally community service or something like that. Let me know what you think. As always, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.